Hey, what's up, YouTube? I am out here at Willmore Park, and this is kind of on the south side of St. Louis, and we're looking for some fish today. I don't know what I'm going to catch. It has been a challenging weather week. Lots of wind, rain, and hail and thunderstorms and craziness. So I had a few hours after work today. I said, you know what? Let me get out and go fishing before the weather starts again. So here I am. Today is Friday, April 3rd. It's about almost 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and I'm just going to go fish this pond and see what I can get out of it. I know that there is bass, bluegill, crappie sort of type of fish, so that's what I'm going to look for. We'll see what happens. Hopefully I can get some video and make a little clip for you. Yeah, hey, let's go fishing. All right, guys, we finally made it down to the water here. We are at South Lake at Willmore Park. There's actually two lakes, a north and a south. And, you know, I have no idea what's going to bite today. But I'm going to start out throwing this little underspin here. It's got a little blade on it. It's got a little tiny dancer set up on it. And this is... honestly, I left this on here from a previous trip and previous video, so we'll see if this does any good. If not, we have some other poles set up with some other baits, and we're just going to give it a go. You know, it's pretty windy out here today, and not sure how that's going to affect us, but so far, it's a beautiful day. It's just a little bit breezy. We've had a lot of weather over the last few days that prevented me from getting out fishing, and very happy to be out here, so that's a good thing at least. Oh, already caught a fish. Look at that. All right. It was a little bass. Hey, didn't have him hooked very well, but that's okay. That tells me that there's fish in here. Hey, I'm happy. All right. This water, I can see underneath it. It doesn't look to be very deep at this particular area. It looks like we've got a little fishing dock here, and I may go out on that fishing dock in a minute, but I was actually, that kind of surprised me to get a little bass that way. So let's see how this, that could be a good sign for the day. Oh, had another one on there. Oh, maybe it was some rocks. I see some rocks under there. I know that there is crappie in this pond. I have no idea where they're at this pond, and I am snagging myself on the damn dock already, guys. So we're going to go for a little walk over here. And it's a cement wall dock, so it really shouldn't be snagging us up like that. Okay, so there's some brush piles on the other side of this little dock, so we're going to look at that too. And I'll edit out some of this walking because, man, I don't really want to bore you guys. Okay, I'm going to try and stay away from these brush piles with this particular bait. Look at that, guys. We already got another fish on. Hey. And it's a good one, too. A nice little bluegill. Wow. Nice little sunfish here, guys. All right. Well, let's make sure we can get him off of here. All right, where we get? There we go. He's a nice thick fish too. All right, let that go. Wow, that's pretty. Look at that. Wow. Okay, I'm very happy to see that. All right, so this was success over where I wanted to go today. So yeah, excited. I'm gonna grab a towel here, wipe the hands off. Wow, that makes me happy to see 2 bites real quick, like, and a big enough sunfish that they took in my little underspin here, which is even better. All I've been doing is just tossing it out, let it sink down just a little bit, and then just reel it back in. I'm not doing anything special, just slow reeling it back in, see what hits it. There's quite a few other fishermen out here today. I can see 3 at the moment, 4 over here, so don't know what they're using for bait. I have not gotten close enough to them yet. Yeah, like I said, I'm just tossing it out and slowly retrieving it back. Heck, I'm just happy I didn't get skunked already. That's awesome. I was out here, oh gosh, one of the couple months after the first time I moved here, and it was not a good situation at that point. I had no clue what was in here. Had no clue what I was fishing for. Had a fishing pole way too big for what I wanted to do. And now I'm back out here with some ultralight equipment and, some basic stuff that I think is a necessity for pond fishing and small lake fishing like this. So it's kind of nice to feel like you know what you're doing at least. Why am I? There we go. It is a bit breezy today, so I'll apologize for any audio issues, anything that comes up, because I put the little fuzzy ball on. Hopefully that's going to be enough to hold this wind at bay. And I'm also trying to keep my back to the wind. I'm using a different point of view than in most of my videos today, just because I didn't want to deal with the tripod. So this is more of a public park. I chose this today simply because it has concrete around the pond, so at least I would not be trudging through mud. That was my goal today, was just to stay out of the mud. Okay, I feel like I want to try a different bait here at this same spot before I move on. Because I'm right next to the dock and there's some brush piles, I want to throw something on a little bit of a bobber. So I'm going to grab my little pole that I have set up with the trout magnet on it and see what that'll do for us. Alright guys, I am back here and I want to show you what I'm using here. Let's see if I can get it to focus on the camera for us. I am using a little trout magnet. It's about 1.25 inches long. It's got the little split tails in there. This is the bison color. Now I use the bison color pretty regular. That's one of my confidence baits. And I tell people all the time, use what your confidence tells you is going to work. And simply because you never know, there could be fish that are ready to hit that. I only have about a 2-foot leader on the bobber, and the water is moving, so I'm letting the bobber do the work. I'm just going to throw it out here and see what comes of it. I don't know this lake at all, or I've only been here once before, and I didn't catch any fish back then. Not even a bluegill at that point, but truth be told, I didn't really know what I was fishing in, and I've done a lot more research since then, so I think I got a little better chance today to catch some fish. So we're going to see how this goes. I just wanted to try and see if there was anything in this little brush pile over here, but I'm using the bobber because I don't want to get snagged, and there was a bite. Okay, so that tells me that something's down there. My guess is more bluegill, but maybe some crappie. That's awesome. And I'm going to move up just a little bit so it's really a true 2 foot, roughly, below the bobber. And we're just going to throw it right next to the dock over here. And try not to hit this brush pile to get a snag, because that would suck. Like the only place in the park to snag, and I'm going to hit it. So I have no idea what's out here, to be honest with you, but I figure what the heck. Gotta try the brush piles, right? Because that's usually where crappie kind of find themselves. And this being April now, the crappie bite should be really coming into at least spawning season. And I know they like brush piles. So I'm going with that theory. And we just had another bite. Okay. So I think there's a bunch of little fish over here, which is great. I love to play with these little guys. I have no problem with that. And we're just going to try and slow roll it with the bobber in so that it stays above the brush pile line. Just very, very, very slowly. Again, I'm using a little ultralight pole with, it's about a 5.5 foot pole, and it's got a little tiny 500 series Fluger try-on reel, 4-pound test. Nothing fancy, honestly. I think this whole setup probably cost less than $40 total. I bought the pole on Temu, the reel at Wilmore, and there was another little bite right there. Okay, so I think this little fish is going to mess with me until I catch it. So every time I roll it through this little spot. But I want to tell people that just simply because, it doesn't have to cost a lot to go fishing. You can get a small, cheap pole and get out here and have a good time fishing. Okay, we're getting bites now. We're getting bites. I've got it right in the brush pile, and I'm guessing they're little babies. So I had it right in the brush pile. Let me try it again. See if I can do better with that. Okay, let's try it. As it sinks down, they like to take it on the fall, and I'm using a one. There's another little bite right there. Okay, I'm using a 1/64 ounce jig head. It's a trout magnet specific jig head, and oh, no, didn't get him. And I'm not trying to do anything special with it. I'm just trying to get it up under the dock and see what happens here. Let me go this way with it because I see some fish down under here. And of course, that was a stupid little move because now I'm right in the middle of the brush pile, but we'll see. You know, I brought extra boppers today, so I don't feel guilty if I lose them. Oh, I can see a bunch of little babies under there. That's what's messing with me. Okay, so we're gonna move around because I don't want to catch the babies. I just want to I want to give those guys a fair chance, but at the same time, I don't want to catch tiny babies. I mean, these guys are like 2-inch babies. So I'm going to throw it down the line here and see if anything wants to play over here. I think this is the area I caught that bigger fish, the bigger bluegill. So we're going to go this way and see if anything wants to play. And the water is bouncing pretty good from the wind, so I'm not really too worried about action on the bait. This is a little jig, so it's tiny, and every time the bobber moves, the jig head is definitely moving underneath the water, which allows those little tails to give the vibration. So really all I'm doing is I'm just gonna slow roll this in, and anything that's in here, if they see it, they're probably gonna bite it. Oh, there went a bite. I'm just letting it drop back down now because maybe they'll come after it again. Okay, so they're hitting it. That's a good sign. Boy, this wind picked up again. I don't know if you can hear it, but man, I'm hearing it in my ears. It's actually a very warm day, which is lovely. I'm out here in shorts and a t-shirt today, which is great. I brought a jacket just in case it rains, but I don't think it's going to right now. Just have overcast. It's supposed to be more weather moving in tonight. All right, got another fish. All right, what do we got now? I'm guessing another little bluegill. Yes, sir. All right, this one's even dinky, but this is actually a bluegill, not a sunfish. So that's okay. Let's see, we can hold him up for the camera here. All right, he is not big enough to actually put my thumb in his mouth, but you get the gist here. All right, let him go. Wipe the hand off because that's slimy today. All right, so little trout magnet, little baby fish. All right, so that's a good sign. I'm not complaining because I'm just gonna go a little bit farther out, see if anything wants to play out there. I am literally just letting the water bounce it up and down because this wind has got this water quite choppy. And I'm just letting the jig do the work, and I'm just slow rolling it in. I do really have great confidence in this particular color as well. The bison color, it seems like everywhere I go, I tend to catch fish with it. So that's really kind of fun for me. All right, I'm going to walk around the other side of this dock again and see if I can catch anything over there. I'll be right back with you. Okay, back on the other side of the dock here. And of course I did. Let's see. I swear I am doing a blooper reel today. At least it's accessible that I can walk up here and get my bobber off the pole. I don't even know how I got myself wrapped around that, but okay. In fact, we're here on the dock. I'm just going to drop it right here next to this little log and see if anything is here that likes my little bison trout magnet. I was trying to be gentle and not go too cuckoo with throwing it out there and getting, because I know these trees, man. With this wind, I'm the one that gets the snag very, very quickly. I don't know if I haven't put together a real blooper reel yet, but I'll tell you what, I've got enough video footage to put a blooper reel out right now, and heck, I've only made 3 or 4 videos, so okay, this wind is crazy. Okay, we are literally right next to the brush pile, so let's see if anything wants to play with my trout magnet now. I'm trying to keep an eye on my stuff too. I don't want somebody walking up and just taking anything out. I don't think anybody would, but you never know. Sometimes people are pretty ruthless. Okay, well, I feel like maybe I need to go a little bit farther down. Oh, looks like they've got a nice aerator over here, so that's probably where some fish are holding. Let's see if I can get farther out. Okay, we are literally right next to the brush pile. I've tried to get as far out as I can. Got a kid over here with a backpack ready to fish. All right, well, I feel like maybe I need to pull the other bait out again and kind of continue my walk around the side of the pond. Probably go around the entire pond. It's not very large. I am going to try one more cast at this brush pile and see if I can get just a little bit farther out. I have a pretty heavy weighted bobber on here, so that usually gives me some distance, but it's kind of an awkward angle with the bars that are on this little dock here. Okay, I'm right in the middle of the brush pile, so, and I'm either snagged or I got a fish, and I think I'm snagged already. Yep, I knew it. I knew that was going to happen. It's one of those things that if you get next to the brush pile and the water is bouncing, snags. All right. Well, we will retie this one in a little bit. I'm going to go back to my other pole real quick. We'll put this one in the wagon. All right, so we're going to throw this little thing out here. It's very much, it's basically a trout slayer, but it's a different brand. Same size, same similar setup. You know, the claws are slightly different than some of the other ones, but I've got it on a 1/64 ounce jig head, so it falls very, very slowly in the water, and I have a bug attacking me, sorry. I'm just going to basically throw it out and let it sink down and just kind of bring it in. See what happens here. And I know that a lot of fish like to take these things on the drop, so we'll see. These are little panfish monsters though, so I'm just going to work it nice and slow and see if anything wants to grab a hold. Oh, that was a bite. Oh, I had him. Oh, darn it. All right, well, that's good. That tells me I've never tried to fish them this way, so I think I'm trying to make it mimic an actual crawdad. So I'm letting it sink down. I'm just kind of picking it up and moving it a little bit. And give it some little bounces off the bottom, let it sink back down. I think that's pretty much how a real little crawdad would work. Little tiny motions, little herky-jerky motions. Oh, I just had a bite. So the only thing I've ever caught on these little crawdad bodies like this, I was using one for trout, which I basically used it as a jig in the water. And I caught some good trout on it. So I got very confident in this type of bait with the trout because I was catching them like crazy at a couple of other places. And we got a good fish here. All right, what have we got? Oh, that's a nice size bluegill. All right, he wanted that sucker. Yeah, he did. Okay, buddy. All right, let's get this hook out. Thank you. That's awesome. The size of that thing. It's a good one. For a park pond, I will take that any day of the week. That is beautiful. Wow, this is a really windy day for disc golf. They must. All right, we got another fish, guys. Got another fish. Looks like another bluegill, but still, that's awesome. That is awesome. Beautiful, beautiful, big, pretty good size too. Look at that. Wow, he is awesome. They are taking it like all the way in too. Get it out, buddy. Let me get it out. Hold on, let's free up some line so we have room to work. All right, got it out of him. Okay, so look at that guy. Yeah, nice little sunfish. All right, beautiful, man. Beautiful. Might have been the same one. It's pretty good sized. They're kind of slimy in here, but that's all right. Ooh, that makes me feel good. All right, I feel great, man. That's awesome. All right, got the wind coming up again. Try the other side over here, see if anything comes up after it. And the funny thing is, I think I see my bobber at the end of the pond over there that finally made it to the other side. So I'm going to work my way around that way and grab it off the top of the water. And then I will have just lost a hook and another underspin, so that's okay. I'm all right with that. Ooh, this wind kicked up. All right. I went back out here. I'm just at the end of the pond, about probably 15 feet from where we just were, catching those other fish. I wanted to come down here because I can see how clear the water is. Here we go. What do we got here? Another nice sized bluegill. All right. These guys are not messing around. All right. Beautiful, beautiful fish. Look at that. Colors on him. Wow, that is absolutely beautiful. Look at that. All right, let's get this hook out of you, buddy. We're going to let you go. There you go. Let go. Let go. There you go. Thank you for playing. All right. So I seem to have found a decent sized bluegill area, so that's kind of cool. And I can actually see the bottom in this, and I know it's only about 3-4 feet down at the most. You got these little polarized glasses going on, so you can see through the water a little bit easier. Like I said, over the past week, it's been raining like crazy. Okay, got a nice little bass here. Look at that. All right. That's a fighter, too. He's feisty. All right, buddy. Let's get you up here. Let's have a look at you. Hey. Calm down. Calm down. Calm down. Got you right in the top of the nut. You're not going to go anywhere. There you go. Let's get the hook out. We can show you to the camera. If I can get it out. There we go. All right. Look at that, guys. Beautiful little bass. He's got to be about, 7 inches maybe? Looks lovely, though. Absolutely perfect. Beautiful, healthy fish. Back in the water you go, buddy. That was cool. I'm excited, guys. This is awesome. I haven't caught this many fish in a while. At least a week it's been. So I know that doesn't seem like much to most people, but I've been fishing so much lately that I want to catch fish so bad. And man, I've been at a couple of times at Spanish Lake and only caught like one fish. It was so cold that day. And then a couple of other places that I just didn't catch anything. especially like bush wildlife. I was very disappointed at going out there this past weekend. The the crappie bite is what I'm really looking forward to, and honestly, I'm so frustrated because it's so not been what I expected it to be. And I know that I'm still early. It's only April. And I guess because I just moved here from Texas, I'm used to the crappie bite starting earlier in the year. And they spawn, in Texas, they start moving in for their spawn around early March, maybe even February sometimes, because it is so much warmer down there. The water temperatures get warm and they really don't change. They're just constant warmth. And so with that being the case, the fish, it's just different. Up here in St. Louis, you have the winter to contend with. The water freezes over in a lot of these park ponds, and even in like bush wildlife, a lot of the bigger, smaller lakes freeze over during the winter. So it's rough to try and figure out when, in fact, that crappie bite is going to actually start to happen. And right now, I just trying to catch fish in general, but I'm so excited. I've caught some bluegill. I've caught a couple bass. However, the target species, which is crappie, still is eluding me at this pond. I have caught a couple at Bush, but they were little baby size. I caught a few at Spanish Lake, but they were also very baby sized. So I don't know if maybe there just isn't larger crappie because so many people, keep them and don't allow them to grow up. Maybe that's the overall problem. I'm not sure. But I'm still hoping at some point I'll find some decent crappie somewhere. And once we get this off of here, we're going to move down a little bit so I'm not in this pile. I can still see my bobber down there, so I'm going to grab that on my way by. And we're going to move into the other bend on the side of the pond over here. Yay, I'm going to get my bobber back. I'm not going to get the hook, but at least I'll get my bobber. Where'd you go? There you are. Okay, hold up. Don't want the phone to fall off, but I want my bobber back. Thank you. Got it back. And we're just going to drop that right in my little bucket here. Thank you. Saved 35 cents, 45 cents. Yay, that makes me happy. I've caught fish and I got my bobber back. How did that work out? And that bobber traveled all the way from the other side. I watched it because I had been following it. It's been a little while since I caught something, and knowing that it was pretty much like a drift into that current that's coming out of the fire hose thing there. I'll just keep throwing it out that way and let it ride and see what happens. All right. This might be where the crappie are. Let's see what it is. No, it's a bluegill. All right. I'll live with that. Alright guys, so there we are with the bluegill. Little guy, but that's alright. We're going to drop him back in. Alright, a little bit of fun here with these little babies. Not a bad size. Not the same as the last one, really. Hey, calm down, calm down. Don't stick me or I'll be mad at you. Alright, not too bad at all here, guys. Uh-oh, camera's all messed up. Sorry about that. There we go. Decent little bluegill. Still catching them on the little trout magnet in the sawbug color. And just been kind of letting it get to the end of this little drift that's created by the fire jet. I'm calling it a fire jet. It's really not that. It's a filtration thing, I'm sure. But just letting it do its own drift, and then when it gets to the end, I'm just slowly bringing it in and see what bites. So far, we've had a few bluegill on it. Alright, got a decent sunfish here. Nice one, too. Good heavy one. Nice fat guy, too. Oh, let go. Gotta let go. There you go. Alright, hold on. Oh, calm down, dude. Put me in there. There you go. Oh, look, you can see a mark on his head here where he's been digging in the rocks. So that's a nice little sunfish, though. Very heavy. Give him a little spiral to the bottom. All right, well, that was promising. So I feel like throwing it out there and kind of letting it drift out a little ways with the current, and then as it slowly drops down, just been bringing it back in ever so slowly toward the bottom, I guess. I don't know how far down I'm really going because I think the current takes it, but the 1/64 ounce weight really doesn't sink fast enough to get it to the bottom in this current. All right, look at that. Yeah, that's a good one. This is a good one. My goodness. Nice bluegill. Wow, that's a big bluegill. Thank you. All right, look at that, guys. All right, so here we go. We've got this guy that just came out of nowhere like a freight train and smacked that bait. Absolutely beautiful. All right, back in the water you go, buddy. All right, so we're going to do that again and just keep letting it drift out, and then we'll slowly roll it back in. I'm giving it a little extra line on the drift so that it, goes a little farther out with the water movement, and then once it reaches the end of that, I'm just kind of slowly reeling it back in. Another little bluegill. Man, there's a lot of these little fish in here. Little sunfish, bluegill style type of fish. We're lipping them right in the top of the mouth, which is great. So, all right, calm down, dude. Calm down. Just want to give you a look off to the camera. Is that okay? No? Okay. You want to go? Bye. Sorry, guys. Didn't get to show you that one. He decided he wanted to get on back in the water. It's a nice little fun action with some bluegill here. And again, I'm just throwing out and let it drift out with the current, and then just slow rolling it back in. Didn't get a bite on that drift, so let's throw it back out there. Oh, that was a bite. Drop back down. Oh, okay. I didn't think this would be as much fun as it actually is. It really is kind of reminds me of childhood. When I was a kid, I would play at the park and catch bluegill all day. I've forgotten how fun this is. Hey guys, all right, we're gonna call it a day out here at Willmore Park in the North Lake. This was an awesome fishing day. Not gonna complain at all. We caught a lot of little fish, but hey, little fish got to become big fish, right? So yeah, we caught a lot of bluegill today. We caught a couple of bass today, and that was pretty much it. No crappie, nothing spectacular, but hey, you know, we had a good time. It was better than being at work. Ha, yes. Listen, if you like my video, please like, subscribe, make a comment. I'd really like to know what you guys think. Tried to change up the perspective this time and use the front-facing camera instead of the tripod. So hopefully that'll be a different perspective for everybody, and they might enjoy it. So anyways, thank you for watching my videos. Thank you, YouTube, for everything and making my hobby more interesting. Y'all take care.